Okay, let's begin the second aspect of today's classes. In the second aspect of today's classes, we are only going to base on what binary operations. And in the binary operation, we are going to talk about how to determine whether a binary operation is commutative or not. So in this case, let's go about it. We have a question which is on the board which says that a binary operation is defined on the set of row numbers by x operation y is equal to x plus y plus 3xy. Then we are asked to show whether or not the operation is what commutative or not. Okay, so when such questions are given to us, we use a formula we call, under normal circumstance when we are solving certain questions. Have you ever asked yourself that why is it that when you have 3 plus 2 is the same as what 2 plus 3? Because this 3 plus 2 is what 5, and what 2 plus 3 is also what 5. And why have you also asked yourself why is 3 times 2 and 2 times 3 also 6, and this one is also 6? This property is what we call what the commutative property. So in today's section, we are coming to use what the commutative property to determine whether a binary operation is what commutative or not. So let's take our question, which says x operation y is equal to x plus y plus 3xy. So to determine whether an operation is commutative or not, we make sure that when we maintain the main operation or we turn it, they are the same. That is how the commutative formula is. Commutative says that if you have x operation y, then it should be equal to y operation x. What do we mean? We mean that when you evaluate this one, when you substitute this one into the formula and also substitute this one also into the formula, and you get an answer. When your answers are not the same, then they are not what commutative. But when your answers are the same, that means what they are commutative. Okay, so let's do it. So we call this one the left hand side of it, and we call this one the right hand side of it. So let's take the left hand side first. So taking the left hand side, we have x operation y. So we are comparing this x operation y to this one. So in this case, x becomes x. The operation is also there. Then y becomes y. So that means anywhere you see x, it is x. Anywhere you see y, it is y. So repeating it, x plus y plus 3xy. Since these two are what the same, then we name this one as equation 1, because we will compare the two. If the two equations are the same, that means it is commutative. But if the two operations are not the same, hence what it is not commutative. So we are down solving the left hand side. So we are coming to the right hand side of it. So coming to the right hand side, we have y operation x, and that means in this case, anywhere we see y, it is anywhere we see x, it is y, and anywhere we see y, it is x. So over here I've seen x, then that means it is y, plus I've seen y, it is x, plus I've seen 3, the 3 comes, I've seen x, it is what y, and I've seen y, it is what x, and that becomes what equation 2. From there we compare that are these two equations the same. If the two equations are the same, then we say what it is what commutative. But if the two equations are not the same, hence what it is not commutative. So upon comparison, you get to know that I have y here, I have y here, I have x here, I have x here, 3 is here, 3 is here, I have x here, x multiplying y, I have x also multiplying y. So we can see that both equations are the same. So with that, you conclude that since x operation y is equal to y operation x, hence the operation is commutative. But in instances where you check both of them and they are not the same, then in your conclusion you make here this, which means what? Since this is not equal to this, hence your operation is what? Not commutative. Then that one you bring the operation is not commutative. But in this case, it is commutative, so we maintain it this way. So since x operation y is equal to what? Y operation x, hence what? The operation is what? Commutative. Then that is it. So when questions like that are given to you, you carry out what? This step by using what? This formula. When it is not x and y and it is a and b, you can make it what? A operation b is equal to what? B operation what A, when it is even Z and what B, anyone given to you, that is how you should do it. Okay, so in instances like that, you do it that way and you get it. So thank you once again.